I'd like to invite Sarah Hamilton up to the stage, and Sarah's the principal at Holy Cross School at Trinity Park. The school is engaged in an interesting process to engage parents in both student learning and the development of the school charism, there we go, and its Holy Cross way. A process that might even see a men's shed emerging at the school, that's very cool.
I'll get to the reason why it's the Year of the Unicorn at Holy Cross, but all the primary principals here have already had the briefing on that. We are at the very start of our journey at Holy Cross. I was appointed as principal there last year, and I made a commitment to the school community that I would spend that year just sitting back and absorbing Holy Cross and getting a little bit of an understanding as to what the school was, why it did what it was doing, and very much honouring the past. And I used that image when I started there, that we needed to look forwards, but also looking at where we've come from as well. We went with the theme of hopes and dreams last year at Holy Cross because we were very much looking at the past, the present and the future. And we ran with that theme for the whole year whilst we were there. And as luck would have it, just as we were busy doing a bit of a measure as to where we were going, Catholic Education launched the School Effectiveness Framework, which came along with a school effectiveness framework with a school self-review tool. So we embraced this and we looked at all the different components and did a bit of a stock take, and we came up with two big rocks that we felt needed the most attention at this precise moment in time. The first one being a lived and celebrated Catholic identity, and the second one being our school community partnerships and our culture to promote learning. It's very difficult doing this when you've got the slideshow. Apologise. We then turned all of that into our school annual improvement plan, and our parent engagement was very much a big part of that. So our goals for our celebrated and lived Catholic identity, I just highlighted the two big ones in red. Develop and clearly articulate the Holy Cross charism and our Catholic identity to be known as the Holy Cross way, and reignite the PNF through parent engagement and increased opportunities for community building. We're incredibly blessed at Holy Cross that we've got the most amazing community that are very close-knit. But it just felt that as a school, that it wasn't very clearly articulated to the parent body what our charism was, why the school does what it does, how everything all connects together. So we felt that was an area that we just needed to do a little bit more explicit work on. And the other area was our culture that promotes the learning. So build upon the foundation of the school culture of positive schools and, of course, relationships, that being with our parent body and the wider community. So that's our Holy Cross way. We had a very big consultation process to come up with our charism, and through talking and interviewing and learning a little bit about the past, we decided that at Holy Cross School, our charism is built upon our identity as a centre of well-being and learning in the Catholic tradition through relationships, community, service and stewardship. So having come up with that, we decided that our theme for this year, here's the unicorn. I found this quote that said, "It's not a unicorn, it's a horse with a sword on its head that protects my hopes and dreams." And because we were looking at our hopes and dreams last year, and because we're looking at where we're going in the future, we thought, well, let's run with the unicorn. So it's the Year of the Unicorn at Holy Cross. So because our charism is so much of everything that we do, we felt that in order to build our relationships with our parent body, that we really needed to crack that open. So our PNF, we had a bit of a chat about how we could do that and decided that we would like to have a little mini conference. So our current plans are to have it at Paradise Palms because we're out at the beaches, so that's where most of our parents live. But also it's got the most fantastic environment for children as well. So part of what we're doing for the day is to have parents able to bring the kids along and for the children to be looked after by some other people so that they can get engaged with our conference. So our timetable for the day is to start off by gathering. Father Neil is our parish priest, so we've asked if he could do a welcoming address, bit of morning tea, and then these 2 sessions which involve choices of workshop. So the first workshop is based on relationships, and at the PNF meetings when we've been talking about parent engagement and community building, some of the dads flagged this notion of having a men's shed. They thought that if we could have a men's shed at Holy Cross, that would enable the dads and their sons and daughters, if they'd like to come along as well, to have a place to go together, to gather, to work on little projects for the school, to work on projects that would benefit the community. And they were really quite keen to do that. So our working bee that we had last week, part of what we did was to send all of the men over to the current shed that was full of all sorts of interesting bits and bobs. And we invited them to bail it all out onto the ground and to reorganise it so that we could start to create a bit of space for them. So we thought that workshop 1 being on relationships, that we would just start cracking that open, and we've already been in contact with the Cairns men's sheds to see what kind of things they could suggest in terms of setting that up. Second choice of workshop is focused on community, that being our second bullet point in our charism. So we're trying to investigate a team building / locked room / survivor type activities to help foster relationships and to build a community in a fun and hands-on way. So we thought that parents will have to trust each other whilst getting to know each other, and we envisage these relationships continuing to build and develop throughout the years. So we're still working on that one. We've got a few quotes for different activities that we can do with the parents, but we thought that would be a really nice way of making some new connections. Third workshop is service. So service including compassion, treating others as we would like to be treated, and actively taking on something for others. So because anxiety seems to be such a big talking point at the moment amongst our students, we're actually engaging somebody to come and do a bit of a PD with the parents on anxiety in children and how they can best support their children should they be exhibiting any of those symptoms of anxiety. And our fourth workshop is on stewardship. So we are busy trying to get some people to come in and talk about how to create a sustainable home and what kind of things they can do with their children looking towards the future. So the idea being that those are our 4 elements of our charism, 4 very different types of workshop. The parents would choose 2 of them. So they would do 1 workshop of their choice, followed by the second workshop of their choice. And then we will finish it all off with a nice big shed lunch before having to gather up the children, probably about 1:30 I'd have thought, and take them all home. So in terms of where to next, lots and lots of things to do. At Holy Cross, we've started to engage with the Seesaw app and getting very positive comments from the parents with regards to that as well. We're doing lots and lots of rethinking about our PNF meetings. Mel, our PNF president, sitting over there. We're looking at shortening some of the things that we talk about and having very explicit items on the agenda. We are trying to stop talking about all sorts of fundraising and instead focusing on community building activities. So the one we've got coming up next is our Starry Night movie night, where we're hiring a big inflatable movie screen to plonk in the middle of the Oval and have a night sitting on picnic rugs, eating popcorn pizza and watching Zootopia. So where to next? Not really too sure, but lots on the horizon, and certainly I believe very exciting times ahead for us. Thank you.